And salutations, everybody. It is I, MoChocolate, the host of Hub Chat. First episode. It's a pleasure to be here with all our lovely friends and family. We have a special guest today for the first episode, Miss PixelCheeks, aka the Pixel, aka Emily, our lovely DM for the Chronicles of the Grand Nation, the Silent War. Wish I had an applause button, like where they would clap. Yay! Clap, 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 clap.
We'll work on getting you like a sound panel or something.
Yes, that would be amazing. So, Miss Pixel Cheeks, how are you doing this lovely evening for us? Maybe night, maybe morning, maybe afternoon for our lovely fans out there.
I am doing well, Mr. Momo. I am doing well. It is Friday. We're here for the vibes. It's going great.
Outstanding. And let's just, kick off with some announcements real fast, Um, just let everybody know, our lovely hub people. Next week is Kraken Week, which we will be taking participating in. So stay tuned to our social media and to figure out what the lovely group is doing. It's going to be a great time. Content creators are getting together for tabletop games to do all these wonderful water sea adventures for you guys. You should definitely check it out with the whole group when it's posted. With that being said, in Miss Pixel, can you kind of introduce yourselves to everyone, in the tabletop community about yourself?
I can do my best. So, hello, hi, how are ya? I am Pixel Cheeks. God, I sounded like Jeffree Star for a second. Hi, I am Pixel Cheeks, also known as Emily. I am an avid tabletop role playing game fan. I enjoy all different types of tabletop games, from Dungeons and Dragons to Pathfinder to Starfinder to Vampire the Masquerade, Cyberpunk Red, and so much more. I have read a lot lately, and I am also the current dungeon master for Chronicles of the Grand Nation, and I love it, and I love being here, and I love all of you.
Outstanding. We're gonna have this clap button again. Clap, 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 clap. Um, well, Miss Avid Tabletop Gamer, I think we should go ahead and get to these questions, shall we? Miss Pixel Cheeks, what made you want to run the Chronicles of the Grand Nation?
Well, I have always been a big fan of streamers and gamers and people who have the unbridled confidence to be able to put themselves out on the internet for everyone to see. And, I treasure my friends more than anything else in this entire world. So I wanted to combine my two greatest loves, my friends and D&D. So we've been playing tabletop games for God, over three years almost, at the time of writing this kind of game. And we decided, we threw the idea around that we were going to, to have a fun little live stream. Like, oh, haha, wouldn't it be funny if we tried to live stream? Or haha, what if we actually tried to do a channel at one point? And yeah, I just one day I kind of made a logo and I made a concept and said, hey, what if we made a D&D stream? And then it kind of grew into not just D&D, but then it grew into a content channel, and everyone got so excited. Everyone wanted to jump on board. Everyone started rushing to do their roles. I want to do merch, I want to do social media, and everyone sort of flocked to their own corners from there. And since then, it's been about a year in the making now. Over a year, I think it took to get this off the ground.
Wow, that is very fascinating. having a group, dedicated to this whole spiel. I mean, the process must have been very long and hard, like, oh, you said over a year of planning this and people taking up roles. Very
It
fascinating.
was it was an extensive process. It wasn't overnight, but I think everyone genuinely loved the concept, and everyone was super excited to want to put their 2 cents in, and so that way it kind of reflected what everyone wanted a piece of it, and it became this collaboration with all of us.
That's nice. Must be a great group of people.
Oh my
Um,
god, I know, right? It's almost like you're one of them.
for people who don't know that, I'm Mo Chocolate. Um, well, speaking of Mo Chocolate, I want to give a shout out to Angela. She did this lovely artwork for me to be your lovely host. So it's wonderful. Who knows? He might be a D&D character one day. You never know. Or it just might alter a persona.
Is it just
But
gonna be like a wizard with a floating chocolate pie in their hands?
who knows? Maybe he's a fighter, that magically throws chocolate cake at people.
Ah, okay.
The world may never know. Uh, next question we have up here is how many years have you been playing D&D or in general tabletop gaming?
I don't know if I want to talk about that. I feel like I'm gonna start showing my age. I don't know if I want to talk about that.
Your age. Come on, age is nothing but a number.
I mean, if I have to think of, I want to say, hmm, I want to say it maybe started when I was. I don't even remember my age, but I remember living with my dad. I was over his house for the weekend, and I had this neighbor. His name was Jared. And Jared was like my best friend growing up. I mean, I every weekend I was like, I gotta go to my dad's house to go hang out with Jared, right? Like, yeah,
Mhm.
that was my life. I lived for one person, and that was Jared at the time. And he had a sister named Sam, and all three of us got along together. And his mother Danielle decided, oh, uh, while the kids are coming over, why don't we play some Dungeons and Dragons? And she pulled out this board game that had a big old I want to say it wasn't even the one that we see now, or maybe no, it wasn't. I would love to know what edition she pulled out, because I want to say it might have been like 3.5, but it was a pre-boxed set that came with like the figures and the little boards that you connected, and there was a book. And she had started the game a week prior, and now we couldn't have been more than maybe like 12, like 11. And I was like, I absolutely want to get into D&D. And my mom was so hesitant because she swore we were gonna summon the devil or start some weird cult shit and start killing cats. And it took a lot of convincing to wear her down. And I went over and I got to make my first character. So I was like, of course, I'm gonna make an edgy rogue that stands in the corner and says, "Ask me about my backstory."
Yes, the typical edgy rogue.
I was that player for that entire time. And we were young. We didn't know what role playing was. We enjoyed touching things, the concept that we could do whatever we want, and that our actions had consequences. It was like a real life Mass Effect game. We were blown away by it. And Danielle, in all of her glory, convinced our party to split up, and the two magic users went off one way, and then me and the other rogue, because me and Jared both played rogues, went another way. And long story short, my level 2 rogue at the age of 12 got mercilessly KO'd by a gargoyle because we had no magic and we couldn't touch it at all. So we just sat there as our characters got massacred, and she laughed the whole time.
I mean, that's what a dungeon master's for. Laugh when your characters split the party and things can't handle magic because they got no magic.
I
Been there,
guess.
done that.
But yeah, I mean, and that was that kick started my interest with it. But then my rogue dying, I was like, I'm never playing this game again. I hate this. This is stupid. And I didn't touch it probably for another like 7 years. Until I was maybe like 16 again. 6 or 7 years, I would say. Raging. Again, I don't know how old I was. I was young. I maybe double digits. But we played again when we hit at high school. And we weren't playing correctly. We were just throwing dice and telling us how to none of us knew the rules, and we didn't care to read the rules. We were just throwing dice to see what happened.
You heard it here, folks. DM Pixel, forget the rules. No rules at your tables, guys.
That's
That was a joke, everybody. Please don't go to your DMs. Be like, oh, DM PixelCheeks said no rules. We do what we want. That would be bad.
Oh, why did that? Get rid of that. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Malfunction in the stream. But no, yeah. So yeah, I swore off of it for a while, and we were playing around in high school, and then I stopped off again. And I didn't start consistently playing until my community college days, where I would play with my group of friends that lived with me up in Philadelphia. And we would meet every Wednesday night, and we would set up the card table in the basement. There would be like 8 to 10 of us, too many for it to be logical, still not knowing the rules, but we would learn the trial by error. And then from there, yeah, it was all, playing demonic summoning music up the stairs to freak my mom out, and we'd order pizza every Wednesday in college. And yeah, from there, God, that was probably I graduated in 2014. Probably 2015. I started avidly actually playing, and I have been playing since. So 9 years, I would say.
Well, that's wonderful, actually. The number 9, how powerful that number is in the D&D community. But it seems like you guys had a wonderful time trying to learn the rules, kind of winging it, but it all goes back to that one person that got you started. We gotta thank her. Well, that actually kind of comes into play with my next question for you. What is your favorite class and or race, or in this case, lineage to play?
Okay, that's not fair, and you know it. That is not a fair question, because
I'm just a host.
That's not a fair question.
Look, the viewers want to know. The viewers have submitted these questions to me to get the answers. And I'm here to get the answers. The answers. And I'm here to get the answers. And I'm here to get the answers.
I can't pick a class.
All right, well, if you don't have a favorite class, what class do you play the most? Well, we stumped you.
I don't want to say cleric. Cleric was, I really enjoyed it when I played cleric. I like being a people pleaser even in D&D. I have played an unnecessary amount of warlocks though.
So
I think I want to say warlocks, probably.
Nothing wrong with that.
Warlocks, wizards. Yeah, I think warlocks and wizards, were my two most common. Which is funny considering I've done everything in my power to try to avoid them, and they end up being the thing I play.
Well, you can't get away with them warlocks, people making deals with you, swindling you. But I mean, speaking of swindling, um, let's talk about your favorite player character so far in the Chronicles of the Grand Nation.
You cannot ask me to pick my favorite child.
I mean, like I said, these questions are mine. These came from the community.
Uh-huh. I really like how everyone's characters are turning out. I feel like it's a little unfair to ask me who my favorite is. I think every character brings their own special light to the game. I think everyone has their own talents and their uniqueness that sort of illuminates them. Everyone has a story, and there's a lot to the characters that haven't been revealed yet. There's so much just so much to look forward to. And with everything that's been going on in the game and everyone still making their way to the main capital, I think we're going to see a lot of different sides of a lot of different people really soon. Really soon, actually, looking at the next arc. Especially, different towns are focused on different characters, and, I really enjoy Tessera and her interactions with her father. I think that's probably one of my more favorite NPCs to play. I greatly enjoy the Cardano siblings' antics, and I enjoy their family dynamic, and I'm very excited for that to come to the forefront. I enjoy
Yeah.
Muffin's just being so avid and running around like a nut job, and I think Muffin has a lot of trauma that she hasn't unpacked yet.
Let's take it back a little bit about Muffin here. Which I've been seeing a lot. They what known to call her One Punch Finn.
That is what people have been calling her. Yeah, One Punch Finn.
Like let's talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Like you have this sweet monk that
I am fixing this. I apologize.
On the screen.
Live editing.
But punching these skeletons or creatures and just obliterating them with one punch. I mean, it's a quite the feat, at such a level that we are.
Mm-hmm.
I know you did mention the Cardano siblings and their antics. I mean, they can be a handful.
I mean, that's an understatement.
That we are.
If we think about it, Zelina almost sold her soul for a nickel at this point. And poor Van gets left out of everything. And I'm very excited for the time that Van gets to shine. I think there'll be some very, very fun moments where the party is going to really acknowledge Van and everything that he kind of does for them. So that's going to be fun to see.
Yes, I mean the things that we've all seen with Van. There's been some comedy, there's been some struggle, and that sometimes there has been cases where he's been quote unquote the peacekeeper or the rational thinker of the group. It's quite interesting, really, when you see it like that.
Oh, I think so. I mean, that's part of the beauty with D&D is you have characters that are always, they're so three-dimensional and they have so much life behind them. And between the backstories and the NPCs they knew prior to the game and meeting new NPCs along the way, I think it's there's going to be a lot of different sides that are going to start coming out in the game, and I am super excited to see how that's going to turn out.
Mhm. Like speaking of NPCs, or I don't even know if you can call this an NPC or not, but that creature, that they had a fight, the putrid hag,
The putrid
so to
hag.
call, Moretti. Like, let's dive into that, shall we? What what was the reason, or I should say, what was the backstory, of her? Because we did, spoiler alert, we did get to sense some tensions, between her and the sibling.
Yeah. Um well, I guess here's the question. Are you wanting the Dungeons Master reason for putting her in, or are you looking for the story reason? Cuz there are two different sides to why that creature appeared in the game.
Well, let's not necessarily do story reasons, since we want people to get a chance to watch the episode and then get an opinion for themselves.
Go watch it. It's really good. Episode 10. It was our big double digit episode. Go watch it.
It was a great,
Go.
it was a great episode. Well, let's get the DM, reason why.
Well, from a DM's perspective, you guys are ridiculously strong. Even for a party of 5 level 3s, uh in D&D lore, it is a very common notion that a lot of the CRs do not equal what they should. A lot of parties will steamroll a CR3 creature, but die by a CR1 if the shadow happens to jump you right. CRs are ambiguous, and there's really no what's the word for it? They're not reliable. CRs are not reliable in D&D, and I wanted to create something that would have been enough of a challenge, possibly a little deadly, but would hold real consequences to the story. And that was my ultimate goal when creating Moretti. Was I wanted it to be challenging enough that not only the players but also the characters in the game would stop and say, "Whoa, wait a minute, what we're doing here has really big sway, and how we respond and react to this might alter the course of the game going forward." And I was very happy with how that fight turned out. Definitely was really challenging. It could have totally gone a different way had numbers been just a little different. But I also wanted to try presenting something that was homebrew. I love homebrew. I think, the DM community being able to make their own content based on the content of D&D is part of what makes D&D so fun. As much as you can smile at all of the original content and the new player's handbook coming out and all of the big, official publications, something that I don't think will ever change with D&D is just the community, and the content that the community chooses to publish is it's beautiful, and I've always been a huge supporter of it. So I was super excited that I was able to put my own kind of spin on a hag, and I took aspects from other books, other inspiration, and I sort of put my own flavoring on it, and I ended up with something that was pretty cool, I think.
Well, it was beyond cool, actually. It was kind of freaky, terrifying, and amazing all at the same time. But there's one thing I did like that you said, um, when, with the whole community, people, create stuff from homebrew. Is there a chance, you know, that Moretti, the putrid hag, could, other dungeon masters use them in their games? Because, like, I get this feeling like, the communities together and they see homebrew creatures or homebrew, items. Like, can they use them? Like they would love to use them in the game. And is that something possible?
Oh, absolutely. I think, we did post on Twitter her stat sheet. I think Moretti would be able to fit into any sort of game, even if it's not the character Moretti. I think the Putrid Hag, as a creature as a whole, the notion behind her is a fallen archfey, a fallen from grace, if you will, sort of creature who was corrupted via their own greed and faced with the realization that their immortality is a luxury, not a guarantee. And I think that sort of concept for a creature could fit in any aspect if you want to spin it that way.
You heard it here first, folks. Putrid Hag in your games. And that kind of spins off on another, aspect I want to go into with the whole community. Cause I don't know. Like I'm just getting this feeling from you, Pixel, like maybe in the long run, could there be like a book, like press printed, fans can, you know, purchase or, acquire somehow of all like your homebrewed creatures for, the gradation.
I mean, that would be wonderful. I would love to be able to do stuff like that in the future. I definitely wouldn't say no to it. I think, down the line, if that was something people showed interest in and we had enough homebrew creatures to fill a book, I could totally see something like that. Um, I think that could be fun.
All right. Up chat, you heard it here live. Pixel Cheek says potentially there could be a book of homebrew creatures headed your way.
Yeah, you can spin it that way if you want.
I'm just giving the people what they want.
Uh huh.
But wow, that was amazing. Moretti, she is some type of creature, monstrosity, individual. Like you guys really have to go see that episode 10 to just understand the concept of who she is. Well, that was wonderful answering these questions. I really do appreciate it. Wonderful answering these questions. I really do appreciate it. That is all that we have for the question part of our lovely chat. The question part of our lovely chat. Is there any shout outs that you would like to give out, Pixel Cheeks? Is there any shout outs that you would like? No, that she died.
My bad. Shout outs. God.
Yeah, like, is there like any,
there is, but there's so many.
Well, this is your time to, plug yourself in. Like what do you have coming up besides, the Chronicles, the Grand Nation, the Silent War? Where could potentially people reach you, if they would like to have like a commission for, a homebrew, creature or a homebrew map that you do so well with?
Oh well, that's not shout out. That's plugging. I mean, I do maps. I do have a Fiverr. I do maps for commission. I like to think I'm pretty decent. So if you need a homebrew map or anything, reach out to my Fiverr. I guess, a fun, when I think of like, Chronicles of the Grand Nation, it is just that, chronicle. And it is, writing this game and this story, I definitely would love to see multiple stories spanning from this. In my mind and on these DM notes, I do have sort of like this 3-game format that I would really like to go for. So, we are barely just touching the iceberg of this game, and there is no way I'm looking that far ahead yet. But it is a concept that I would like to see come to fruition one day. Is, the full Chronicles being able to be told, and being able to share that with people.
Wow. 3 games, 3 campaigns. Y'all heard it here. Not 1, not 2, but 3 for the Chronicles of the Grand Nation. Should be interesting. Well, Emily, aka PixelCheeks, it was a pleasure having you on the first installment of Hub Chat. Gotta say, I love you. As a guest, you were amazing. Thank you for all the support and help you do. Just not just with your group, but also in the community of tabletop gaming as well.
Aw,
Mhm.
thank you. In all honesty, and I want to say this, I'm okay with where we're at now. I love our fans, and I really want to give a shout out, specifically to Kelowna and Iron Raider, because those two have been with us since day one. They have been chatting, they have been so active in our community, and if I can make 3 full-length campaigns for those two alone, I would. And everyone who watches us on YouTube, Angela, who's been watching all of our stuff, are one of our biggest fans and our official artist. Honestly, as long as even just the 3 of you are happy, I would still keep doing what I am doing. The point of the hub is to create a community of good, like-minded people who enjoy tabletop role-playing games, who want to find that home away from home, and who just want to kick back and relax and have a good time. And honestly, that's the goal of this. And the fact that we even have 2 people who feel so comfortable and so at home in our Discord and during our live streams, that to me is enough that I feel like I've succeeded. So thank you so much for all of that. And for you, Mo, for even putting this together.
I'm just a hostess with the mostest. Just to give back to the community, give them a little peek, of how we're feeling and what we're doing. Just want to remind everybody that you are loved, you are cherished. If you're ever going through something, reach out. You can always reach out to one of us at Join the Hub. We love each and every one of you. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you drink that water. And if you do feel like you want to say happy birthday, my birthday is tomorrow.
It is his birthday tomorrow.
So just thought I'd throw that out there to our lovely fans. And you guys have a wonderful, blessed night. Thank you so much, everyone. You guys have a wonderful, blessed night. And we'll see you on Monday.
Yes, don't miss it. Episode 12. Be there or